Jai Hare Krishna Swarupa.
Hare Krishna, Praneshwari Didi, how are you?
How are you? Is your mom already gone?
She is leaving on Monday.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Well, it will be a treat to Kayla to go and see her.
Absolutely.
You have to try to keep up the mood.
Yes. I'm going to Dandvat Leelamoy Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Dandava pranams.
Dandava pranam.
Dandava. So they were already saying, when are you coming? And they haven't even left yet. So I was thinking it would be a good idea if maybe Maharaj was traveling that time at whatever time, but I'm also not sure because, you know, to get a ticket and go on that end, yeah, we have to save. So
I know.
yes.
Good morning, obeisances. Magic, you changed your name with your mind, Maharaj.
I did?
You did.
Well, if my name will follow my mind, then I'll be offender, aparadi, demon, asura. Hare Krishna. Govinda, Govinda. But we have good guides, so we have hope we may be rescued from our asura nature and taken to a higher place. Live, Michael Madhava is with us. Welcome, Pranam, Michael Madhava, Hare Krishna. I'm sure your name is Madhava Prabhu. And yes, definitely thinking of our Brazilian devotees, missing you all. Leelamoy Prabhu representing Brazil, Priyanana representing Russia, Udaran representing Latvia, Sevarupa representing South Africa, and Prameshwari representing all the world's devotees. Hare Krishna. And Raj Bhuvan Jadav, Hare Krishna, greetings. He's on Facebook also. And here, a busy morning, and I just came and set up just in time, but happily keeping in touch with our headquarters, means Navadip Chaitanya Saraswat Mat and all the activities going on in India, etc. And so I have been transported for the last 1 hour. I've been in India by mind, Praneshwari saying about mind. And really the home of our heart. It is, of course, the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, Srila Shira Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and Bhagavan, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And we've had many lessons along the way, both directly from them, but lessons from the environment, lessons from so many things that have taken place and, of course, always continue to take place in the environment. Okay, and now a welcome to Braja Mohini Devidasi in our Santa Cruz temple, where the time is, what's the time in Santa Cruz?
7 p.m.
Oh, 7 p.m. Okay, not a bad time. And the temple looks just the same, but with some decorations.
Yeah, there's still some decorations up. In the last
All right.
festival.
Very good. And Rupanuga Prabhu representing Australia. Very good. Dandavat Rupanuga Prabhu. And Jeevana Devidasi joined us representing California and more. We put limitations, don't we? We put limitations of where people are representing.
Oh,
And
Maharaj,
Zia,
yes,
Zia
take a
calling
chance.
in from the UK. 3:03 a.m. solstice rising. I should be asleep though. Okay.
You're very welcome.
Just today, I was, meditating, you say meditating. I was thinking about that song, Jeev Jago, that Mahaprabhu is calling out, you spend your nights uselessly sleeping and your days decorating your bodies. But I am trying to understand how this uselessly sleeping is, because if I don't sleep, then I am uselessly leading the day after. And I've got experience. I mean, I have experience from Navadip sometimes, and we really have to get something done. And we're up all night, maybe not intentionally, but all the way through to the next day. But the next day we have things to do too. But how useless I am the following day. Things just don't go well on the day when you don't get any sleep at night. So I was thinking just today about this, about spending our nights uselessly sleeping, that part, and our days decorating our body. So anyhow, we've all come together, let us be together the way we do, give our respect to each other. Radha Sundari also joined us just now, and she's most likely in Mayapur in India. Even Mayapur is not in India. That's one of the 10 offenses to the Holy Dham, to think that the Holy Dham is part of a region. And Gaurangi Didi, Chintamani Didi, to each of you there on Facebook who've joined us, and Seva Rupa in Mexico. Very happy to see you, that you joined us also. My obeisances to each of you happily, and to all of us here now together, and those who will join us too. My Dandavat Pranam to you, but our Dandavat Pranam to each other, as we do when we come together. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha. Namo Mahaviranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvijay Namaha. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. And Sudevi in Australia, welcome. One by one, devotees are joining us, joining together. Yes, Raj Bhuvan sending his pranam. Hare Krishna.
Dandavats Maharaj, thank you.
Very welcome, very welcome. So, today, back to basics, and the basis of our life, it's the lotus feet of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, no doubt. And now, we need as many reminders as we can, but now in the world, generations are passing by, days, months, years, decades are passing by. And so we have to see what is consistent throughout this time. And the consistency is the shelter of Guru and Gauranga. And Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Gurudev have brought for us that Guru, essential Guru guidance for the whole world, for the rest of Kali Yuga. And yesterday, I was here listening to an audio. Now, I do have the audio, but it's poor quality, poor mundane quality. It is a poor mundane quality audio, and you do need the headphones. But Guru Maharaj was quoting, and he said, I'm not sure where this verse is from. Maybe, he said, maybe from Chaitanya Bhagavat. but that Mahaprabhu was telling to Nityananda Prabhu and saying, oh, I've come to give the highest thing to the most fallen, but in the future, then so many will imitate, and they will chant, and they will dance, and go to hell. And I was a little surprised by this, but the thing is, I was there when Guru Maharaj said it, and I remember this, but it kind of was a bit in the distant past. And then there were two devotees, as well as myself, but there were two devotees there as well, and Bhargava Prabhu and our Vidagdha Madhava Prabhu, both devotees we know, of course, from there. And they were talking with Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj was quite, I mean, they were quite surprised, hearing this from Guru Maharaj. And then Guru Maharaj starts to explain, because they said, oh, how can it be? They're chanting the holy name and going to hell. How can this be? And then Guru Maharaj, like clearly but strongly said, yes, through imitation that this will happen. And then he cited one of the acharyas at that time. Okay, don't start reading anything. This is not about any acharya. This is just, he's reciting about one of the acharyas at that time, one of the leaders, who was experimenting and doing, Guru Maharaj saying, experimenting with LSD and intoxication for going to Goloka Vrindavan quickly. And Guru Maharaj gave this example. So Guru Maharaj, very clear about the sahajyas, the imitationists, those who deviate from the guidance of Mahaprabhu, the guidance that's been given by Mahaprabhu through the parampara. So we must be careful that we are not in the category who are chanting and dancing and going to hell, but that we will stay carefully under that guidance of Mahaprabhu and our masters. And we can say really headed by, yes, Srila Saraswati Thakur, but by Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, Zia, have a good night's rest. Oh, some noise outside, but don't worry. It's all good. It's the combined harvester from harvesting the rice crop. All right, here is Paramananda Prabhu also joined us in person. And Rupanuga Prabhu rejoined. Anyway, this is my first kind of expression today, greeting you all, appreciating you all. We've been very much thinking about Navadip, our home of the heart, and the holy places of our hearts, connected with Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Mahaprabhu's line, and reminded how Bhaktivinoda Thakur was saying, oh, when will I visit the places dear to Gauranga in the company of loving devotees? And so we are reminded of pilgrimage, and pilgrimage of the heart as well as pilgrimage of the soul. And then our second little reminder was the necessity to always carefully follow the guidelines of our grand masters, and then we'll be safe throughout all the storms and tornadoes and breezes and rain showers, all those things that happen during our life, because life is full of variety. So there must always be some ups and downs. And when the negative things come, Guru Maharaj also says, yes, it's so we can appreciate the positive more. And Amiya Sindhu Prabhu joined us from Mayapur probably too. So we've got a very international team with us, and I don't want to hold on to the microphone. I want to ask you to continue either the themes we just mentioned or something which has struck you this week. We actually highlighted some sentences and phrases, but now I don't have them in front of me. this week that we're reading in. We said, oh, so many these sentences which are so important for our life. But maybe you've highlighted a sentence in your reading or something which has come up. So we could first ask to Braja Mohini Devi Dasi, because she's in the Socal temple. She's in a temple and we're in a temple. And it's not every time we get to join in the Socal temple. So we will ask Braja Mohini first, and Jivana will be ever ready, because she always is ready. She'll be ever ready to share something too.
Maharaj, I'm useless. I have no. Look who's here. Look who's not useless and always has something wonderful to say. Bimala Devi is here.
Who is here?
See? Bimala, are you okay? Where are we?
Oh, Bimala. Okay.
Relax, everyone. Give blessings to us. We are
Bimala
here.
Devi, you've come to join a very sweet and worldwide devotee family, our sweet worldwide devotee family. And we just asked for some inspirational contribution. So we are coming, this is my begging cloth. So Bimala, we're coming to you by the recommendation of Braja Mohini Devi. We're coming to you asking something nourishing for us all.
Nourishing, it's like we shall always beg for causeless mercy. We shall always approach the Department of Mercy, because the Department of Justice will never get anything there. So
Bimala, come a little closer to the microphone, please. Then it'll be louder.
The contribution would be like, we are always asking for causeless mercy, and we are always approaching the Department of Mercy, but not that of justice, because justice we never be up to what would be. So the mercy is always all encompassing and all kindness. So we will always be crying and beggars of mercy, mercy above justice, and love, affection, and asking blessings and mercy that we can serve, and blessings and mercy that we don't make aparada, to service herself, Bhakti Devi, to all the devotees. So we humbly ourselves, always reminding ourselves that we can never be qualified for any of this beautiful kindness and that comes to us, but we can always honor and pay our like dandavats and ask for mercy. This is a contribution. Because I am always reminding myself to be, please, Lord, give me mercy, allow me to serve and don't make a parada like that. Yeah. Plate is ready. Oh, plate is ready. I gotta offer the dinner to the deities.
I was just going to ask you a question. Okay, so on your behalf, Braja Mohini recommended you. So now on your behalf, we can ask Braja Mohini, what tips have you heard reliably, that is, on how to invite that mercy, that causeless mercy to descend?
Well, we're just reading Gurudev speaking, of course, about the verse that we know of, that we've heard many times, for humility, having humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. There's a particular section in Revealed Truth where he's talking about it. And so it sounds like that's a good place to start, end to end, and to try the whole way in between. So that's continuing, trying to make ourselves fit receivers of that wave that's coming, that merciful wave. And you know, we've also heard that mercy means service. So we're trying to catch that wave. We're in Santa Cruz. So here in Santa Cruz, it's all about catching the waves. So we're trying to catch the wave of mercy and grace through this practice of humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, and associating with the Vaishnavas. I don't know too much about it, but this is what I've heard.
Sounds like you are a good
Over and over,
medium.
I've heard these things, but still I don't know much about it.
You are a good medium to present our Gurudev's stressed message. And why humility, tolerance, giving honor to others? Again, in that very book that you held up just now, Revealed Truth, you can search it. Srila Gurudev does say almost those words, that to constantly and attentively chant will draw the mercy of the holy name. It will remove all obstacles. It will clean our heart and excuse our offenses. So at least one sentence we almost managed to remember out of all of our back to basics, because this we do keep reminding ourselves. Humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, not wanting honor for oneself, so we can Kirtanya Sada Harihi. We can always engage, Sada always engage in the Kirtan of Hari, of the Lord. Jai. And Jivana Devidasi, please, also we invite you to be a medium for the teachings of our masters. And your case, Srila Prabhupada, hey, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. Please share something on the theme or as you wish.
That's a really impossible act to follow, because both Braja and Bimala are completely amazing surrendered servitors. They're the type of servitors that when something's not getting done, you can ask them and they jump in and do it. And cheerfully, and Bimala will say, oh, thank you so much for asking me to do this service. She has that super attitude, and sometimes you pull Braja into the most, I don't know, difficult things. And she's just dives in there and just does it with such a beautiful mood. So those devotees, sometimes devotees are just, I actually heard Gurudev say this one time about a devotee, that it was scary devotion. I don't know if you ever heard that, but I heard that somewhere. I wouldn't make that up. But because when I heard that, I thought, wow, I know what that is. When you see somebody whose devotion is so sincere and so deep, and it's almost scary, because you know you can't possibly even come close to that, even though you try. And I want to say that I think when we were reading this last Sunday, and Braja can corroborate if this is true, we were reading from, I was there at that time, chapter 17 of Revealed Truth, where Gurudev was saying about humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. And he said there, he said, it's easy to say and easy to hear, but it's not necessarily that easy to practice. So always, like you're saying, always we have to keep it in our minds as far as possible, because we want it to, at least for myself, I would like that to sink into my heart. But I feel like always it's floating on the surface. Like I hear it and I say it and I feel like, oh yeah, I know about that. But just to get it to sink in is really a challenge. So it reminds me of something that Srila Prabhupada would say to us. He'd say, you have to hear for a very long time. So that's what I'm thinking, that constant hearing, sometimes you're in the mood to hear, sometimes you're not so much in the mood to hear, but always to be, like you said before, offering faith and honor. We may not always be able to call it affection. Gurudev says that affection will follow, but at least if we can do these things with faith and honor as far as we can, it will really help us to gain that mercy that we really desperately want and really desperately need. Does that make sense?
definitely makes sense. And we do need to listen not only for a long time, we need to listen constantly forever. And not listen to our mind.
Oh my
Listen,
gosh.
listen from the proper source. And we should also be a little discriminating where we hear from, because where we hear from is going to be what makes us, what makes our impression, and also what we tell others will also be coming from what we hear. So we always want to try to see, oh, I'm hearing from a right place or not. And if a little question mark about who is giving us some, information, especially if it's a little bit unusual, then if there's a little question mark, we may hear them out, but we may not feel that, okay, I'm going to repeat that. So our hearing and hearing from a proper source, it is necessary for us, some discrimination.
So maybe also try to have that rule that if nobody else has heard something that I'm about to say, I try not to say it. So maybe I should detract when I said about Gurudev, said about scary devotion, and until I come across it and can tell exactly where I got it from, then I can quote it.
Actually, I'm not sure about the word scary, but Srila Gurudev is saying, actually, I am fearful to see their intensity of service, which is definitely an interesting comment.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have detected Mahaprabhu on 2 separate occasions didn't teach humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. He always teaches, excuse me, Mahaprabhu, but to 2 people, to Haridas Thakur, he said, don't be so humble. You are breaking my heart. Please stop being so humble. And also we found another place, just as we are reading through, to Rupa Goswami, right? What was it? Both of them, Rupa and Sanatana and Rama Kelly, right? Because now we're in a different time in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So to Rupa and Sanatana, Mahaprabhu begged them, don't be so humble. So give up your humility. I can't bear it anymore. So, I'm reminded of those statements by Srila Gurudev saying that when I see the devotion of somebody, I am fearful to see their devotion. And that means that like donations, some donation that Gurudev received was not a big donation coming with a big stack of donation, but was, you can say, physically a small donation. But Gurudev saw what was there, and Gurudev, we've been there when Gurudev said, this is the biggest donation. When a devotee has come who really doesn't have anything, but has given everything. And that doesn't mean that people who come with a big donation, it's, that's a small donation. But it's an indication of the responsibility Gurudev sees when somebody is coming, with solid, sincere devotion. So Gurudev is saying, I'm fearful to see, because Gurudev must utilize that mood of devotion properly, like that responsibility comes to him. And this isn't just about like a donation. Not only about a donation of funds, but the donation of the heart of the devotee. If somebody's, oh yes, I'm devoted to you, but actually they're leading their own life separately, then not so much responsibility on Gurudev's behalf. But if somebody comes and they're fully devoted and nothing, I just surrendering to you, then Gurudev is seeing that's a big responsibility on his shoulder of something very valuable, which is the devotees' hearts. But scary, you can do some research, you can think where you may have heard the scary word. Oh, where's my Zoom gone? Oh, there you are. I lost the window for a moment. All right, and by the way, welcome to Dana K and those, anybody else joined us very recently? We're welcome to Dana K, welcome to you. Dana, treasure, and K, Krishna. So, very auspicious. And Praneshri wants to say something. Oh, Seva Rupa has put something in the chat box. Reveal truth. Seva Rupa, Devirasi, you have made this contribution, the medium for Srila Gurudev's words in Reveal Truth. So please, can you read this to us at your quote that you've given?
Dandavat pranams, Gurudev, and all Vaishnavas, all devotees. I was just merely finding out where Brajamohini was quoting from, and I think Jivana and all the great Vaishnavas before. So I just kind of found a piece and put it in there. Yes, so it is where our hope and challenge. So even when we understand the idea and mood given by Mahaprabhu in his formula, Shanadapi Sunichina, it is still very difficult for us to follow. I have spoken about Mahaprabhu's formula my whole life. So that is Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj speaking. And so many people have heard about it from me. It is very easy to hear about it, and it is very easy and very good to speak about it with others also, no doubt. The difficulty is focusing on it in our own lives and following it properly. And it's such a beautiful piece in Revealed Truth, but it's so long for me to copy and paste in here, but it's very beautiful. Hare Krishna.
So I think we all have homework, and this is like an aperitif in the old days, when you have an aperitif before a main meal and think, okay, I have to read this later. Oh, so I am going to copy and paste this out so I can do some homework just after we end our program today.
I really like this whole last section of this chapter, which is including what Seva Rupa just included, but kind of from, there's a section called non-enviousness, and then it goes to through all the next sections till the end of the chapter. But this whole section, I just have been wanting to read it over and over, because Gurudev is really giving so much very, I mean, this whole book has so much in it, but just particularly this section right now is really super helpful for me to read, living in the ashram as I am for the moment. And how, we can read the verse and hear the verse and we hear the meaning, but he's giving some more like kind of explanation of how to what that means as far as our thinking and our activities, and how to harmonize with others and everything like that. So I find that really super helpful, this section of this book.
So this is even more of an aperitif to get our appetite, so we may read this section. Who came in? Is it Jainanda?
Dinabandhu Prabhu is hiding now.
No, Dandavat.
Dinabandhu Prabhu. Okay, I have to make your image bigger so I can see you.
Maharaj, Dandavat. Jai, Dandavat.
Dandavat, Dandavat, Dinabandhu Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hi, Haribol.
We've come to SoCal. Just see, we have the flavor of SoCal by meeting you all there. Jai. And a little before that, Praneshri put maybe an answer to a question, I'm not sure. Or a link, Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj. Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj's informal talks from Chintamani Dham in Chiang Mai. Acha.
Uploaded by Sulakshana Devidasi.
Oh, okay. So there's a new link for us. I didn't know that. Which informal? Where here?
Informal
Where?
talks.
Oh no. Did they have the microphone on in our conversation?
See, it's not supposed to be microphone.
Talking to the Chinese devotees, Maharaj.
Okay, so it's all in Chinese, right? Okay, anyway, that's also piqued my interest. Let's see what's being said. Hare Krishna. And Sudevi Didi in Mexico. would you like to make a little contribution for us? We're happy to see you. And if you see on your screen, then most of the devotees here, they're here regularly, but we're very happy today to welcome you and to invite you to be a regular also.
I believe
Would-
she's from Australia, Maharaj.
Yes, Dandavats Maharaj, Dandavats
Dandavats.
devotees, thank you so much for having me in this space and your beautiful association. Yeah, I am from Australia, but I'm in Mexico at the moment.
Okay, well, we can understand from the accent, so you've definitely spent some time in Australia.
Yes.
So what has given you some inspiration, or what would you like to point out this week devotionally? Anything?
Oh, I feel a bit nervous because I'm on the spot here and I've just jumped in, but I'm here in Mexico we have the camp coming up with Ashram Maharaj and Janardhan Maharaj, and that's coming up soon. So today I've been making decorations for the altar that we're going to be we're having this beautiful camp in the mountains about 2 hours from the city, so that's been very inspirational for me. I just spent a week and 2 weeks in Guatemala. Just spent 2 weeks in Guatemala away from the devotees, so that was a little tough, and so I'm really inspired to be back in the presence of the devotees and excited for the camp to come. And yeah, so that is my journey at the moment.
So from separation from the devotees in Guatemala, now you're going to get a lot of association with devotees.
Yes.
By the camp. And those camps, they've been running now. You'll have to ask Ashramaj how many, but many, many camps, both the summer camp, which it started with, and then the winter camp. So they had the summer and winter camps, and a very, very nicely arranged opportunity for the devotees to come together and do what? Have Sankirtan, read together, have the morning program, evening program together, and to honor Prasadam together, just to be together with each other. So wonderful. We shall join you by heart.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think it's the 32. I think it's the 32nd camp, maybe. I'm trying to think of the poster, maybe 32 or something like this. Yeah.
It's a lot, I know. Wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Dandavats.
Hare Krishna. Wishing you a super time. Jai Nitai. And Krishnendrani just joined us also, coming in from Turkey, has done and doing so much valuable seva. Gurudev giving much mercy to her. Blessing, we can say. And where did we begin today? With Bimala saying that we need to pray for the blessing, pray for that mercy coming down from above. That is the most valuable thing in our life. Hare Krishna, and we have live here Paramananda Prabhu. So he is a very busy soul in a busy body on a busy farm. They got guests here, then people are coming all the time. So let us utilize this opportunity for some tip from Paramananda Prabhu for gaining the Lord's mercy.
Well, I'm getting tips, Maharaj, how to gain mercy from the devotees. And that, what was that? Oh, Gurudev's quote about difficulty practicing Mahaprabhu's formula. And so Gurudev quite often quotes a saying in Bengali, which I do not remember by heart in Bengali, but it is something along these lines. I heard the message of Mahaprabhu and I got so much attracted to it that I wanted to become a devotee. But then I heard, and all my hopes vanished. So Srila Govinda Maharaj would quote it quite often. It's a local saying that it sounds very easy, wonderful to talk, wonderful to hear about, but somehow wonderful to follow, but very difficult by some reason. Really seems to be very simple, but our ego, the baggage that we're carrying, our luggage that we collected, our Brahmanda Brahmitekon traveling from one Brahmanda to another Brahmanda, collecting these different experiences, trying, well, and it's all come to trying to be independent from Krishna, forgetting Krishna, trying to enjoy his own energy. How foolish is that? Just think about it. You're not only trying to impersonate somebody, but you're also trying to enjoy his own energy. I mean, that's just insane. And that's why sometimes this world is called a world of insanity. Everyone's gone mad, really, and everyone means myself. Otherwise, why are we here? And that I always admire the sincere, it's not a show, but a sincere show, in the good sense of that, humility between the devotees. And that reminded me, and it's been practiced for forever, actually, by the devotees. And we hear it from Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatana Goswami, when Narada Muni wanted to find out the highest aspect of devotion, highest aspect of prema, love for Krishna. So he saw one Brahman who was very pious and very devoted, looking very much devoted. And he approached the Brahman and said, oh, you are the pure devotee of the Lord. And Brahman saying, no. You go there, there's another one, the king. The king is not a devotee at all. So you go higher. And then at some point he approaches Prahlada Maharaj, who is very humble, saying, I possess zero devotion. So you may go to Hanuman, there you find something. Goes to Hanuman, same thing happened. And he is always serving Lord, and he is in full possession of devotion, bhakti, prema. And then they go to from Amaho Charanarenu Jusamaham Brindavane Kimapi Gulmalatosha Dinam. There's Dushajam Swajanam Arita Hamsa Hitwa. So he's saying, Vijor Mukunda Padavim Shrutibirvim Rigim. You go to gopis, there you will find true devotion. And he goes to Goloka, then he finds the gopis saying, now I finally found someone who is possessing love. And what the gopis are saying, love for Krishna? We do not possess that. Otherwise, Krishna will always be with us. And where is he now? We're looking for him. So you're talking about devotion, love. We have zero of that. So that's what Narada Muni explores. And really, this is a devotion proper. No one will admit they have devotion. And there is no end. Like Raja Mohini did it. That we will start practicing with this formula, but it will never end. And that's the beauty of it. So it's the engagement forever. We're looking for something to do, always something to do. I want to do this. I want to be engaged. I want to be busy. Here, get busy with Tunada, Sunishina, Torivasa, Krishna, Amanina, forever. In Galoka Vrindavan, it's so-called worse. You will see that you possess no devotion. You will find, oh, there's no devotion. Krishna is not with us all the time, 24/7, and you will be cursing every moment, every imperfection of the bodies. Like gopis, they're cursing their eyelids and blinking. Like cursing Brahma, couldn't create a better body, more suitable body for loving Krishna. And also, really, when you just observe the environment, so many things you can hear. We're reading Upadeshamritam, Shri Upadeshamritam, Srila Rupa Goswami, which is really whatever we need to know about practicing devotion is in condensed form for us, for our sake, for our benefit, presented in that beautiful, very short, relatively short, just 11 verses, composition, non-different. I mean, these words of Rupa Goswami and Srila Saraswati Thakur and our Guru Varga points out that whatever is said in Upadeshamrita are direct words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We know Mahaprabhu left Shikshashtakam and a couple of other verses to us. We hear it directly from Mahaprabhu, and this confirmed to be. But then the higher Vaishnavas, they can recognize, oh, here is what Mahaprabhu's message is in the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami. And that heart takes the form of Upadeshamritam, so that we can follow step by step, slowly, that process. And we've been reading about it, and we're approaching another verse about the good qualities that will benefit the devotion. I'm just sitting here, and there's a hole here. I'm sure we can see. There's a hole in the pillar, and there are little pygmy bees, like tiny, tiny bees. How many times I ousted them from that hole? I'm thinking, oh, they're going to disturb the devotees. And really, they're very peaceful. I'm sitting right next to them. They're not disturbing me. And every time they will go back and they will try their best to build it again and again and again. I was just thinking about how that's the verse of tomorrow, actually. So this is the preview. Utsahan nishcharyat dharyat tat tat karma pravartanat sangotega satovrite sadbir bhakti prasiditi. 6 types of activities and qualities that will make your devotion to blossom. And one of them is perseverance. Perseverance was the
Perseverance.
perseverance. Here we go.
Or possibly American is perseverance, but I'm not
Maybe
sure.
not.
I'm not sure. But English.
Perseverance, perseverance.
Perseverance. Here we
There you
go.
are, American.
Here's the perfect example of that.
Hmm.
And you can learn so many things from the environment. And there is a description of one sadhu, it is in Srimad Bhagavatam. And that sadhu, wherever he would go, he would observe different living beings, different animals, reptiles. And then he will acquire some good qualities. He will see something good, some kind of a very positive, helpful for his own spiritual evolution qualities. And then he will try to follow. So environment is full of these indications, full of these examples. If we can see, if we can hear them, that would be very beneficial. And in the same book, Revealed Truth, Srila Govinda Maharaj talks about it. Really, the ability to see how Krishna, through many different situations and many different living beings surrounding our environment. Environment is, what Maharaj, Guru Maharaj's famous words?
You know,
Environment is always friendly, and acquiring angle of vision, all those we can say we can practice in life by trying to see, trying to remember what it means. Anyhow, just passing the microphone.
no, don't stop. We're all
There's so many devotees there. I'm always feeling very.
So many devotees there. I have a quote on this theme about drawing the mercy. You see, this is all by the grace of Bimala Pujari, who is the Pujari today in the SoCal temple. So by the grace of Bimala, we've kind of come to this subject. But about the first verse of Upadeshamritam, which is controlling the speech, the mind, anger, tongue, belly, genitals, you all know it. Okay, so this is Guru Maharaj, Srila Sri Maharaj talking about this first. And he's saying that all of these tendencies, these are all from within, and these are our enemies. Okay, so now I'm going to read, it's a short paragraph. I'm just going to read Guru Maharaj's words because, just because. Why? Because I can. Okay, so I'm going to read Guru Maharaj's words. So Guru Maharaj is saying, the agents of the Lord are more powerful than our enemies. Now, we're not talking about the Battle of Kurukshetra. We're talking about inside us, the enemies of everything. Well, the enemies. Well, let's, anyway, the enemies within, which are given in the very first verse, that we need to control our speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, genitals, and we have a little bit of limited time. So here is the paragraph. The agents of the Lord are more powerful than our enemies. We must only make a bond with them, the agents of the Lord, and try to keep our promise to them. Then help will come from that deeper plane and drive away all these superficial enemies. Drive away all these superficial enemies that are dancing like demons on the surface of our minds. This is one of our highlighted phrases this week. So then help will come from that deeper plane and drive away all these superficial enemies that are dancing like demons on the surface of our minds. They must be driven away, and the help needed for this will come from within. If we seek out, cooperate with, and invite the agents of the Supreme Lord in, really, then those sadhus will come and drive away all these demonic demonstrations from the surface of our minds. They will be driven away forever, and then we will have happy engagement in the service of the Lord. We will be free from all these demonic masters, and that is not a cheap gain or achievement. So there's a definite tip from Guru Maharaj for getting free from our enemies and to draw the attention. Okay, by special request, repeating the first sentence one more time. The agents of the Lord are more powerful than our enemies. So there is some hope for us, that we will draw the Lord's grace by the grace of the agents of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
My dear Maharaj, can you please give me the source? I'm searching and I can't find it.
It is the Upadeshamritam of the Srila Guru Maharaj's commentary in Upadeshamritam.
Okay.
So
Okay,
actually,
that's
we
why.
need to post this book on the web, and then as a
Yes.
PDF, you'll be able to download it. And it is on page 59 of the book of Upadeshamritam,
Okay.
published from Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. It's on page 59.
I will do my homework.
And by the way, Seva Rupadiri in Mexico has come. She's telling us it's going to be the 39th Vaishnava festival in Mexico. So that's quite an achievement, and well done to Ashram Maharaj, and well done to all the devotees who put so much energy twice a year to make these festivals a grand success. Jai. And Tungarasari joined us with her obeisances. Nirupama Devirasi also joined with obeisances, and Kamala Sundari Devi joined us with obeisances. Hare Krishna. Actually, she joined us with flowers, hearts, and obeisances. This is on Facebook. Yes. So Praneshri Devi, over to you.
Well, Maharaj, I was going to raise my hand because we had some homework. We had to find out about a different meaning of Keshava.
We were speaking with Keshavananda and didn't ask him. Hare Krishna. And Tunga Vidya. Oh, Tunga Vidya, Sevarupa's mum sending obeisances, yes. And I see Sudevi's made a contribution here in the chat box. We'll take a look in a second, Sudevi Didi.
Well, since Praneshri voiced it again, she must have done her.
Yes, but we're going to stay with Praneshri Didi. Okay. Paramanandru's volunteered you, Praneshri Didi. Keshava,
You're so
Keshava
brave,
Ananda.
Praneshri, you must have done that homework.
Well, I tried and I found some information, but not what I was expecting to. Because you mentioned, Paramananda Prabhu, you said there must be a different meaning than the common one of beautiful hair. So I found some quotes. Let me open it here. One is, but for this one, I don't have the source. It was all in a blog together, coming from a commentary of Adi Shankar in Vishnu Sahasranam Stotram. That's what I could find. Without chanting of the word Keshava, Keshavaya Namaha, none of the Vedic rituals begin. Meanings of the word Keshava given by Adi Shankar mentions several lines: the Lord of creation, sustenance, and destruction, all put in one. Another one is one who is more effulgent than that of the sun god, and one who assumes the three roles of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And there is a quote in the Mahabharata that says, we find a description of the multicolored rays emanating from the Lord body seen by Narada Muni. And after, in the same chapter, Sri Krishna states the following. There's a verse in here that I don't know how to pronounce, but I can put it in the chat. So Paramananda Prabhu can please read it to us.
Shavoye prakashante mamate kesha samjita sarvajya keshavam tasvam mamahurmuni sattamaha. But from where is that?
This is in the Mahabharata.
From Mahabharata.
Mhm. Shri Krishna states, the effulgent rays that emanate from me are called Kesha. Therefore, the best of sages who know everything call me Keshava. And one, pardon?
I have like one question to you. Out
Yes.
of all these names you just mentioned, which one touches your heart the most, including previously conceived of?
Well, the words of Sri Krishna, when he says that the best of sages who know everything about me, they call me Keshava, because this is the truth. He is Lord Keshava, and he is saying so. They call me Keshava, so I believe that. It's not only about it. No, there is one line that caught my attention here. Is Keshava is the one who is the tormentor of his enemies, and the one whose very chanting removes sorrows and sufferings. That's the one I like. The one whose very chanting removes sorrows and sufferings. But I reminded Maharaj, I reminded you of this homework because I remember that Paramananda Prabhu mentioned something. Okay, there must be something else. So please tell us, what is that something else, Paramananda Prabhu?
After what you just mentioned, Pranashwar Devi, I rest my case. But well, maybe silent better. Maybe Madhusudan Maharaj knows.
Well, we know that there can be something more. Oh, okay, simply because the Lord's names are infinite. So there, I rest my case. But in the context of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because we have heard, but I have not seen, that one of the, maybe Vishwanath Chakravarti, I'm not sure, but one of the great acharyas or prominent Vaishnavas in the line, they have presented for each of those Vishnu Sahasra Nam, the Vishnu's 1,000 names, which is very traditional in especially South India. For each of those names has given an indication connecting with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So giving an understanding how this word, this name is referring to Mahaprabhu. This is Mahaprabhu's in such and such a context. So we didn't directly hear from Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya. We didn't hear him mentioning Mahaprabhu's names because he's before Mahaprabhu's time, because many things, but he was before Mahaprabhu's time. So we know that there must be something connected with Mahaprabhu there. And if Gurudev were here, or if we could hear him, Gurudev is probably right now just saying, well, this, why aren't they saying this? Well, Gurudev, it's because I'm not a pure via medium, but otherwise I'm sure that he would give us a Mahaprabhu-centric understanding of the name too. And I notice how many, like, quite different explanations are given there about that one name of Keshavananda.
Actually, I'm thinking if someone who can bear this name as a servitor of Keshavananda, and that person is so joyful, so wonderful, then what to speak about the owner, the original owner of that name? That gives me a lot of comfort.
Hare Krishna. Oh, well, we've got to call up Keshavananda. Well, we'll wake him up if we call him now. We better call him a little later. Okay, Shananru, time to get up. Rattle, rattle, dong, dong, dong. We'll get the gong and bang it. Hare Krishna. Yes, contributions from any quarter. Zia saying, thank you for these shares. I feel like I can surrender again now and feel my breath flow freely before I sleep. Oh, he's still awake. Bless you all. Thank you. I will leave to meditate. Good day and good night wherever you are. Okay, very sweet. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And yes, Sudevi, she made a comment. I feel that to attract mercy, one piece is the recognition of the parts within that are seeking attainment for self, the areas of darkness that are not focused on love, the parts that are ego seeking to be better or higher than others through judgment, jealousy, etc. Attracting mercy by allowing that darkness within to be illuminated with as least resistance as possible, offering prayer through the longing of the heart to be purified of these areas of darkness for divine service and love. Very sweet
Beautiful.
expression. And actually you also very nicely give this idea, prayer. We are here to pray, not just to repeat Sanskrit and Bengali songs and this, that, and the other. You see the songs, so many of them, they are prayers, and they are our prayers, as Guru Maharaj told, that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given these prayers for us. It's our mood, teaching us how we should pray. So again, this prayer, hankering, laulyam in the proper sense, in the healthy sense, the hankering for the grace from above. Hare Krishna. Anyway, a beautiful morning with the devotees, and one by one to each of you, very much appreciating your participation, contribution, and to those who also will hear presently, to you all we appreciate very much. And we are here happily to serve, and happily to serve in the way of presenting, focusing on, saying everything we'll get from our wonderful Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and who are presenting us the Lion Guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and drawing the sweetness that was only found within Srila Saraswati Thakur, as Guru Maharaj said, drawing that sweetness of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to inundate the whole world. Hare Krishna, wonderful things.
Jai
Thank
Srila
you.
Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
Hi.
You took me by surprise. Anyhow, wonderful things. And I was just going to add one last line. Please don't neglect the books of our masters. Please don't neglect the recordings of our masters. There are treasures. Every day there are treasures. And every day is a wonderful day if we can try to keep our sadhana, our daily food, our daily practice in line with how Gurudev wants us to do. So please continue happily. And Braja Mohini, just as a last message, is put page 345.
How about Braja Mohini reads that?
Huh?
Yes.
How about you read it?
Okay, it's Vaishnava Haba Bali, Chila Murasada, Trinadapi Shloki Pari Gela Vada. I had a strong desire to become a Vaishnava, but when I heard that I needed to follow Mahaprabhu's prescription of Trinadapi Suni Chena, then I felt very hopeless. How will I ever become a Vaishnava?
Oh, Braja Mohini, what are you saying? Okay, and Bimala Devi, so kind of you for starting us off and putting us on a very necessary track. We must rely on the mercy of the Lord, and this has brought so many sweet things from the different devotees. So to all of you, our obeisances, and of course, Big jais to our masters on Vishnupad Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj ki jai, on Vishnupad Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj ki jai, on Vishnupad Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai, and jai Bhagavan on Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, and our whole Sri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki jai, our present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, all the worldwide devotees ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Udaran Leelamoy to all of you step by step. Udana Krishnendrani Amiya Sindhu Radha Sundari Seva Rupa in South Africa, Seva Rupa in Mexico also, and now Jivana Devi Rasi Brajmohine, Bimala, and Sudevi on our Zoom, and the devotees with us that we've mentioned on the Facebook with us, and our Raj Bhuvan Jadav sending many pranams and jais along the way, happily, just see. And Kitty Kadamba, cat, no, Kitty Kadamba, cat, no, it's cat, it is cat, yes. We clarified this afterwards last year because I wasn't so sure. So cat, very welcome, and to all. Dandavat Pranam, have a good weekend, Seva. We'll be with you soon. Hare
Pranams,
Krishna.
Maharaj. Thank you so much.